Good afternoon, all. Today we would talk about the buyer decision process first of all. So, in case of rural marketing, the buyer decision process or steps related to buyer decision process remains the same as normal marketing scenario. So, the very first thing is the need recognition. So, a person would first try to find out if he or she at all have that need, or if they how they want to satisfy the need. So in terms of once they understand what their need is, they would look for different information sources, information ways or methods through which they can understand the different products which would satisfy their particular need. And once the information search is made or complete, they would find the different alternatives which are in present, the different scenes or different alternatives they have, and they would evaluate each of the alternatives basis their need recognition parameter, as well as the different parameter in terms of price, in terms of brand, in terms of additional benefits being derived from those particular products. So once after the evaluation of alternatives is done, they would fix on one particular alternative which they thinks or they feels best suits to them. And basis that they would make that purchase decision. And once the purchase decision is over, they would interact with the product. They would get to know how their need is being satisfied and what all additional benefits are being provided by the product, which helps them register the post-purchase behavior. So once the buyer decision is complete, we get to know about the product adoption process, how in what ways or what are the steps in which a consumer or a person adopts a particular product. The first thing that needs to be done is the product awareness. They should be aware about the availability of a certain kind of product, of a certain category of a product which is present in the market, and which would increase their interest basis how the product has been placed in the market, or what are the things or what methods are being used by the organization or by the company to increase the interest of the consumer in a particular kind of product. Because once the interest gets the switch, if we talk about the product interest is put on, they are going to definitely evaluate the different products which are available in front of them. And once they evaluate the product, the best suited product, they are definitely going to give it a trial, and just to understand how the product satisfy their need or their wants in their daily life. Once the product is trial and the trial is performed successfully, they are quite happy with the performance of the product, definitely they would adopt that particular kind of product in their daily lives. So there is a term called as diffusion of innovation, where we would talk about the innovators, the early adopters, the early majority, the late majority, as well as the laggards. So in terms of percentages, if we talk about most of the people in the rural sector would fall under early majority or the late majority things, which comprises of around 70% of the total community still being present. So who would be the people in the village segment who would be called the innovators? So definitely an innovator is definitely an opinion leader or just a trendsetter in their scenario, or who are not averse to taking high risk, or they already have high asset ownership. So definitely their behavior is more of an explorer. They would try to find out new products which are available in the market, and how those products could make their life easier. They would like to be led or lead the community by example. Then they would definitely like to set a pace for a particular kind of a product, and they would have their own thinking about the product, and they would set the parameters quite stringent, and then they would evaluate and then inform others, mainly the early adopters. They would bring in the early adopters into the scenario where the early adopters are mostly the rich farmers who have large land and who have high disposable income. So they would be of high social status within the rural community, and they are actually a conscious evaluator. They won't pick up just whatever has been told by the innovator. They are definitely going to test the product. They are going to definitely test the product in terms of the standards which are being set by these people with the help of experimentation, and but definitely they would have willingness to try new products, but definitely they are not going to choose any product just because it is in front of them or it's made available to them. So they are definitely going to experiment it. And then the early majority would be people who would be who would take risk, but would be definitely cautious about different factors which are involved in taking that particular risk. They are definitely the opportunity seeker, but they are little less open on experimentation, but still would pick up a product or adopt a product being in front of them if the experimentation method is successful. Then would come the late majority, where definitely the small and medium farmers would be part of it, where more knowledge receivers than the knowledge seekers. So they would receive the information or knowledge about a particular kind of product, but they are not definitely going to go out and seek for different products which are available in the market. So they are definitely are the major group of people who would adopt the time-tested methods or time-tested products which are available in the market. So they are definitely not going to lead any innovation or lead any experimentation. But once the experimentation has been successful by the early majority or early adopter people, these people, the late majority people, are definitely going to pick up those products. And then comes the laggards, who are the major 16%, taking into consideration the rural market. They are the majority people in terms of laborers, risk averse, or very small kind of farmers who are very suspicious about any changes, and are quite happy with whatever they are available with them and whatever has been offered to them. So in terms of that, they would be called as laggard. Thank you.